the rock stars were in town. Michael Jordan and the Jordanaires were in town. Everybody wanted to see that dude play, especially that season.
It's Chicago, man. It's like, this is a circus. The circus is coming to town. Even in Toronto, a new basketball market, there was a buzz. Everywhere these guys went, you know, there's people outside waiting to see the bus, waiting to see the Bulls, waiting to see Michael Jordan. There might have been 30,000 people at that game. There were a few games that year where the crowds were upwards close to 30,000, and I think that was one of them.
You know, we were basketball people. This is like the Pope coming to town.
We didn't know it at the time, but the Bulls were on pace for an NBA record 72 wins in a season. Think about it, they lost 10 games all year, and one of them was to an expansion team. The one thing the Raptors had going for them was their superpower, which is Sunday afternoon games in Toronto. It later came out to me that Chicago did enjoy the city on the Saturday night, and so Toronto had that going for them.
And you gotta think about it. It's the Sky Dome, so they can seat a lot of people in the Sky Dome. And here comes Michael Jordan, and they're on the way to an historic season. And here are the lowly Raptors trying to play against the behemoth that is Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And they beat them?
The hottest ticket in Toronto today at the Sky Dome. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen and the Bulls against the Toronto Raptors. A lot of themes through this game, but I'll tell you what, here is the story right there. The last time these two teams met back on January 18th, Oliver Miller missed a three-point shot at the buzzer. And Alvin Robertson, Damon Stoudamire, and the Raptors. Jordan to Wennington, stolen by the Raptors. Carlos Rogers gives to Alvin Robertson, back to Carlos, look out!
Oh, Carlos Rogers doing what he does best. That's a tough place to play when you're struggling to go into Gun Arena in Cleveland and play with the top defensive teams in the NBA.
Rogers tipped by Miller, couldn't make it drop, and Scottie Pippen with the numbers. Off to Jordan. Oh, yes.
There's no question where that ball was going. Scottie Pippen knows where the bread and butter is. Michael Jordan on the wing.
Rogers again, underneath. Oh!
Carlos Rogers right at Billy Wennington. One of the things that the Toronto Raptors have had a lot of success with, that they will probably hang on and not use until a little bit later in the game, is pressure situations against this Chicago team. They've done a real good job of creating an up-tempo and forcing Chicago up the court.
Oliver Miller and the Raptors have come out with a couple of hammer dunks.
Know they can play against the Chicago Bulls, and they're coming out right now and attacking them. Kukoc with the fadeaway. Into the game for Chicago, signed 2 10-day contracts and was signed for the remainder of the year.
Carlos Rogers with a tip. John Salley is back in Toronto.
John, before the game, he said, hey, this is a great opportunity for me. I'm on a great team. Carlos again going strong to the bucket.
Foul on Scottie Pippen.
He didn't really accept that role. He wanted to be a player. On Chicago, he can assume the role he had when he was on the championship Detroit Pistons for Toronto. He committed himself, so said, I want to do the best I can to help this team win. And here he is, sealing his man down low and getting a nice bucket. Oliver's averaged almost a triple-double in the last 3 games.
Still a 3-point Toronto lead. Harper backdoor to Pippen, and he couldn't jam it on the alley-oop attempt. Stoudamire holds up, down to Rogers, watched by Kukoc. Rogers, nice bounce pass to Alvin Robertson. Michael Jordan wasn't there, and Alvin gets one up on his old buddy. Alvin Robertson, Michael Jordan, former teammates in the Olympic team, underneath the Tracy Murray. And the Raptors are off and running.
And that's beautiful basketball right there. Unselfish. He went out in Chicago early in the season. It was the first 5 games of the season. Went out to United Center and played against Michael Jordan. A lot of young rookies would say, hey, this is a tough task. Michael Jordan again with a turnaround. Damon Stoudamire went in there and played great basketball.
Alvin Robertson, that shot by Kukoc is off.
Toronto doing a pretty good job of not giving second shot opportunities, and Stoudamire nailing that foul line jumper.
Raptors by 3. A minute left in the opening quarter. Stoudamire has 8. Steve Kerr deadly with the three-point shot.
Officials refereeing the games that a lot of respect for officials were lost in, and it hasn't been quite regained. Christie nails a three-pointer.
For one night, you know, we were as good as the champions, you know, and I think that victory gave our fans a lot to hang their hat on, and I think that it was, along with some other things, one of those moments that turned the city up a little bit to understand that we had an opportunity to be successful as a franchise.
Like, maybe this team's gonna do better than we thought. But also, it just meant so much because we were from Toronto, and never before had Toronto been in the NBA conversation.
That's why the game is played. You just never know what will happen on any given night.
Brendan Malone, the first coach of the Toronto Raptors, he got these guys to play. He got these guys to compete. He got them to defend. You had to play like Alvin Robertson. I mean, Alvin could care less who you're playing against. He's going to come after you. He was a tough dude. He's the guy that, you know, even in your own locker room, you're scared of him.
Tracy had a huge game. He was a really good shooter, probably ahead of his time when it came to three-point shooting and his proficiency and his accuracy. But Tracy had a big game that night.
Scottie Pippen running the floor for the Bulls this time. Kerr stops for 3. Yes!
Damon Stoudamire has to recognize that. Steve Kerr's not looking to take that ball to the basket. This is how the game goes. Michael Jordan is the man in the fourth quarter.
Ron Harper, nice block on Stoudamire. Kerr waits to set up the half court. Back to Harper. Bushler to Dickie Simpkins, watched by Tabak. Kerr will even the game, and he does. The most deadly three-point shooter in the NBA.
New Rod, they're not necessarily looking to steal the basketball. What they want to do is make Toronto eat some time on the clock before they get into their offense. But Tracy Murray able to hit that running jumper here. He definitely was a confidence booster for Carlos Rogers.
Michael in the air to Bushler, and Jud Bushler. 2-point effort from Bushler. Stoudamire.
One wildcat to another.
Doesn't go, and the Raptors get a break there.
Coach had an opportunity to grab that ball and go in strong with it, instead tapping and not able to drop it.
Christie, nice stroke for 3. 4.5 minutes left before halftime. Pippen to Kukoc. Kerr. Again, red hot. Steve Kerr.
Chicago doing their best. Michael Jordan, Pippen, and Billy Wennington, all 3 set screens to free up Steve Kerr, taking Damon Stoudamire out of the picture.
Stoudamire for 3.
And Damon Stoudamire said, hey, you did it with the screens. See the high flying, the palming the ball, the whole bit. What makes Michael Jordan such a great player is he's fundamentally sound, Rod. He does the little things, and that's what makes him great.
Carlos Rogers with another hammer down in the first half.
Good job by Damon picking up another assist.
Kukoc. Off to Wennington. Soft jumper from the Canadian. Ball batted away. Rogers, nice pass to Tracy Murray.
Excellent pass up court. The Raptors getting out on the break.
Pippen. Touchdown pass.
A great look up court by Randy Brown. As soon as he caught that ball, he knew Pippen was taking off.
Stoudamire. Back to Miller. Christie. Yes.
Oh, nice pull-up, Jay. Doug Christie putting that ball on the floor. And one of the things John McKeechee said is the fact that Chicago is hurting up front, Rod. The front court scoring in the first half. Chicago had 16 and Toronto had 32 points. Down low in their basket, he couldn't get out to come up on Kukoc, but you have to fight through it. He's too good a shooter to leave wide open.
Nice pass. Kukoc. Miller off the glass. Nice play.
Damon and Oliver Miller love to use that pick and roll.
Harper. Jordan with the rebound, wide open. Pippen. Bill Wennington gets it.
Billy Wennington to hit that baseline jumper.
Stoudamire to tie. Yes.
Damon with the ability to hang on to the basketball with the dribble.
Tony Kukoc with the block. There's Pippen. Easy to the basket. And it's a 4-point lead restored for the Bulls.
Bulls can start to take the game away from you. They do it on the defensive end, and then offensively they keep coming at you with Damon Stoudamire not wanting to let his team down. And
22 for Mighty Mouse. Jordan baseline again. Oh ho ho!
Michael Jordan.
Murray falling off.
Stoudamire's on pace to be second all-time in assists for a rookie behind Mark Jackson, who plays with the Indiana Pacers. Oliver Miller, the big O, and a roll into the middle. Michael Jordan and Carlos Rogers kind of going at each other a little bit on the side of the free throw line.
Long pass, nice pass underneath for Alvin Roberts. There's Rogers. Oh my!
And how about that? Carlos Rogers, want to wake him up if you're Carlos Rogers.
Oliver wanted to spin on Weddington, couldn't. Robertson off the foot of Kukoc. Shot clock's at 2. No, off the rim. Pippen. Stoudamire tries to check him. Harper to Michael. Again. Tried the pass into Oliver Miller. Stolen by Ron Harper. He looks backwards, gives it right to Alvin Robertson. Raptors push the ball up. Stoudamire. Tracy Murray wide open. Lets it go. Yes!
That's a big break for the Raptors. Ron Harper.
Pushing his old tie ball game again. 83-83. This has been a good one so far for the Toronto Raptors. Staying close with the very powerful Chicago Bulls. Kerr, jumper. He's so smooth when he has time.
Percentages are so good when he shoots the basketball.
To back to Miller. Doug Christie. Oliver takes it to the basket. Tabak with the follow. Looking to get open. Stoudamire, shot clock at 6. Penetrating. Pumping. Yes!
Damon knows that Steve Kerr's going to have a lot of trouble defending him with his quickness.
89-86 Raptors. Jordan in the game, and wow.
It's about that time, Rod. It's the fourth quarter.
Michael Jordan, who was a Raptor killer the last time he was in Skydome in the fourth quarter. Stoudamire for 3. Yes!
Doug Christie got a piece of that. Great defense. And that's an over and back right there.
There is no whistle. Definitely over and back. Kukoc takes it strong, and the Bulls got away with one.
Michael Jordan threw it back out over the half-court line.
One-on-one, Stoudamire and Kerr. Sally helps out. Damon inside to Tabak. We've seen that one all day.
Well, right now the defense is focused in for Chicago on helping Steve Kerr.
Coming down to 5.5 minutes left in the fourth. 4-point Toronto lead. Jordan watched by Christie. Michael back to Steve Kerr. Kerr, jumper.
Oh, tough shot, Steve Kerr. That's the shot you want him to take. Off the dribble, tough shot with defense in his face. But Kerr, being the tough player that he is, able to make that jump shot.
Shot clock's at 3. Stoudamire loses it. Sally brings it back for the Bulls.
Kerr, good hands, poking that ball away from Damon.
Steve Kerr lighting it up again.
I told you at the top, Rod, you look at a situation like that, Steve Kerr able to pull up 17 points right now, picking up where John Paxton left off. Average of 30 points a game, you know. He still has something left.
And don't forget Chicago shooting for 70 wins. They would not want to lose to the expansion team. 95-94. Murray sets, got it. Raptors by 1.
Tracy Murray loves that running one-hander. For a lot of guys, you see that shot, you go, hey, that's a bad shot. For Tracy Murray, he has become very good at the running one-hander. Michael Jordan, that great shot.
Jordan with the basket and the foul. Raptors by 1. Miller working on Weddington. Oliver, bad shot there, forced up by Weddington.
Miller looking for the foul, thought he was hit on the elbow, but he really never got set to get a good look at the bucket.
Jordan, tongue hanging out again. Turn it up. Michael turns it on.
And he looked over, that was
Absolutely in his face. Under 2 minutes.
Alvin just came down and gave him a push and said, you gotta be kidding me, Michael.
Robertson, bounce pass to Stoudamire. Murray, left-handed, no, Robertson. Whistle underneath, and it does not count. Referee calling an offensive foul against Toronto. Alvin Robertson looking like it was over the top.
What a block by Michael Jordan, not only in the offensive end.
Under a minute. Miller, Stoudamire,
Nice pass.
Tie game.
Big time dish. Damon Stoudamire, take it to the bucket, drop it off for Oliver Miller.
By Stoudamire, Oliver jams it 106-106. 35 seconds left in this game. Jordan, watch out for him. There it is again. He does it again.
Alvin Robertson just shaking his head. He goes, I can't do any more than I did. I was all over the man.
Well, they've been down this road before. The Raptors last time in January. Bulls won 92-89. Raptors couldn't pull it out. Can they do it today? 31.8 left. Murray!
Excellent play. Brendan Malone calling the play, and the Raptors executing perfectly to catch Murray curling to the bucket.
And a timeout.
So many other options on the court. And a delay of game play by Tracy Murray stepping up so the Raptors can get a good look at what exactly Chicago Bulls are going to try to run.
Jordan, look for him to take the shot. No foul call. Jordan, Oliver has the ball in a timeout. Michael has a smile on his face, takes a look at the official. He wanted a foul.
Tracy Murray did a great job one-on-one. Oliver Miller came over to help out, read the play, forced Michael Jordan to take a very, very difficult shot. Just could not get this one to drop. See, Oliver Miller came in just in time and got a piece of the basketball, which forced Michael Jordan to throw that ball up in the air. Michael looking for the foul, but just wasn't able to get it. It looked pretty clean to me. Oliver Miller got a good piece of the basketball on that drive. Michael still pleading his case.
Now, Oliver Miller signaled timeout, but there wasn't a timeout. Before the whistle blew, Michael Jordan was called for a personal foul.
Oliver Miller getting to the free throw line right now. Oliver Miller,
number 30,
a 67% foul shooter.
Two crucial free throws. 21.3 seconds left. 3 fouls on Jordan. 109-108, Toronto.
Oliver Miller, you look at his concentration, he's really staying with the shot on the line. He's got his knees bent. Excellent follow through on that last free throw. That time he pulled it.
And another miss for the Raptors from the line.
Damon Stoudamire not in the game now.
109-108. Can the Bulls make it 7 straight wins? Jordan. Kerr, 5 seconds. Pippen will have to let it go. 3. Steve Kerr. No. Jordan. Yes. The no after the buzzer. And the Toronto Raptors have pulled it out. They've done it. The Toronto Raptors have done it. They have beaten Michael. They have beaten the Bulls. 109-108. Man, I haven't heard this place like this since the Blue Jays won the World Series. The final score, the Toronto Raptors 109, the Chicago Bulls 108. Here's how it happened.
Ryan, you can see Steve Kerr missing the jump shot. Michael Jordan getting the ball just a little bit too late. Caught the corner of the backboard, the ball still went in, and you have to give the Raptors credit. The Bulls looked a little disorganized to take that last shot, and you have to give the Raptors a lot of credit. This was a remarkable win for the expansion Toronto Raptors.
They beat that team that set a record for wins that season. It didn't make any sense, but that game was phenomenal. And even if you look at the way that it ended, listen, Steve Kerr, I believe has the highest three-point shooting percentage at the time. He had a wide open three-point shot, wide open, and missed it. Jordan gets the rebound, shoots it on the baseline, and has literally no angle on the backboard. Shot chips a piece of the backboard and goes in, but time had expired.
It was huge. I mean, everybody was talking about it, right? You know, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, best record, one of the best records in the history of the game, and Raptors take him down. And I think the ending too, you know, you come down to the end and Michael Jordan hits the shot just a little bit too late. I remember Rod Black calling the game and it sounded like it's going, oh, no, it didn't go in, right? Or it didn't count. And so it was crazy. Everybody, like, people were in shock.
It indeed was just after the buzzer, but I could only have imagined the heartbreak had that shot counted. But when it was all said and done, you know, the expansion Raptors, this fledgling neophyte team, had taken down the mighty Bulls, the two-time NBA champions.
Let me think of regular season victories and how impactful they are. Yeah. Now that I think about it, like, I don't think, sure, there's the game where we stopped, was it 13 or 14 game losing streak or whatever, but like, no. I don't think there could have been a more important regular season game.
We won 21 games, but that game, you know, you never forget it.
I think the win over the Bulls helped show people that Toronto was serious about its basketball. And, you know, years and years later, we got the moniker, We the North, and the culture that comes with it. We don't care that we're outsiders. We don't care what you think of us. We're gonna fight you. We're gonna scrap with you. And if you beat us, you're gonna know you were in a battle. I think that was the start of it there. With Damon, Mighty Mouse, the little guy, this band of misfits that were all put together through an expansion draft and trades and cast-offs from other teams. And I think it said something about pouring the concrete on Toronto and Raptors basketball culture.
It's Damon Stoudamire, and thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest videos and subscribe for more.
Stoudamire launches a three, knocks it in. Stoudamire. Yes! Damon Stoudamire